Hi Nana. So today, we learn about alloys and amalgam and different types of alloys, their properties and their uses. Okay. So first of all, we will learn what is alloy. Alloy, it's a homogeneous mixture. Alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, and it is a solid solution. Okay, alloy, it's a solid solution or else a solid mixture of two or more metals. A homogeneous, okay, solid solution, a homogeneous solid solution. Solution means it's mixture. It's mixture. Solution means mixture. A homogeneous solid solution of two or more metals. Okay. Two or more metals. So these two or more metals are they are mixed in they are mixed in definite proportion, or else they are mixed in fixed proportion. When two or more metals they are mixed in fixed proportion, when they are in molten state, when they are in when they are in molten state. Okay. So such a homogeneous solid solution, okay, is said to be alloy. Example, brass. If you take a brass, in Telugu we'll call it as ittadi. Okay. This brass, it is made up of metals copper and zinc. It is made up of metals copper and zinc. Actually, this copper metal, it is melted. So molten copper and even zinc also. So molten zinc. Okay. So molten copper and molten zinc are taken and they are mixed. So this one and even this one also, they are mixed. Uniformly they are mixed. They are mixed. The mixture of molten copper, this is a mixture of molten copper and zinc, molten zinc. So this is a uniform mixture. That means both the molten metals are mixed uniformly. So there is a uniform composition throughout this material. Okay, it is same throughout this material. And this material, it is allowed to solidify. If it is allowed to cool, what happens? So it becomes solidified. Okay. So the solidified solution of this one. Okay, zinc, two metals, or else sometimes more than two metals are also mixed, but they are mixed in a definite proportion. For example, if copper, if copper is 80%, 80% of this brass, if it is for 80, this copper is 80%, then zinc will be 20%. So like this, 20%. So that means a fixed proportion. They are mixed in a fixed proportion or else a definite proportion. So if the proportion of this metal changes, then the nature of the metal will change. The nature of the alloy changes. Okay. So like this. So alloy is nothing but a homogeneous mixture of a homogeneous solid mixture of two or more metals which are mixed in a fixed proportion when they are in molten state. Next, if you speak about the properties of alloys, the properties of alloy. So we have seen brass. So brass will have the properties of copper as well as properties of zinc. So that means, so this brass will have improved properties. So copper is not having certain properties. So it may have certain properties. It may miss some properties. Even zinc also will have some properties and it may miss some properties. So those properties which are missed in the zinc, they are present in the brass because those properties are appearing in copper. And the properties which miss in copper, they may appear in zinc. So that means this material is having improved properties. So this is having better properties than copper and better properties than zinc. Okay. That means this brass, it is having intermediate properties. That means the properties between copper and zinc. Okay, they have intermediate properties. Alloys have what? Alloys have intermediate properties. Okay, intermediate properties of mixing metals. Of mixing metals or else constituent metals. So what are the constituents of brass? So the constituents of brass are copper and zinc. Mixing metals or else constituent metals. Constituent constituent metals. Okay, right. And uh, I mean to have, see why mixing is done or else why alloying should be done. Alloying should be done to improve the specific properties. Alloying is done to improve the specific properties. Okay, to improve the specific properties of metals. Of metals, okay, so when they are alloyed. For example, to make machines of aluminium, machines from aluminium. So aluminium metal, actually it is light in weight. Lightweight. It is a lightweight material, but the thing is, it is soft. It is fairly soft. Fairly soft. So that means it cannot withstand it with weight. Suppose if you make a aircraft frame or else any frame or else any machines with aluminium, what happens? So because of its softness, it may break, it may bend or it may break. Okay, so that is why though it is a so this is a though it is a lightweight, but it is so as it is soft, it will break or else it will bend. So mainly aircraft materials or else any other materials frames, they are made up of aluminium, but not exact aluminium. So that aluminium is mixed with some other metals. For example, aluminium, when it is mixed with uh, magnesium, let us assume aluminium and magnesium, what happens? So now this mixture, it is said to be alloy. So molten aluminium and molten magnesium, they are mixed together, and finally after solidification, okay, they are mixed uniformly, molten mixture. Okay, now this mixture, it is said to be magnesium. Magnesium. So if you see the properties of this magnesium, so it is lightweight because aluminum is present, so a little amount of magnesium is added to aluminum. So what happens? It will become strong enough. It is as strong as steel. It is as strong as steel. So that is why it can be used in manufacturing of machines, okay, or else in manufacturing of other parts of the machines, because of its strongness. It is lightweight. So lightweight aluminum, the important property of aluminum is it is having lightweight, okay, and also it is now it has become strong enough. It is as strong as steel, hence it can be used in the machineries, okay. So like this, so that means the properties of aluminum is improved by alloying with magnesium. So that means why alloying is done means to improve the specific properties of here the softness, the specific property of softness it is improved. So that means it is now that now soft it is not now it is not a soft metal. It has become a strong metal. So softness is improved. Softness is improved means that property it is made a better property. So alloys have better properties. Alloys have better properties than the metal. Alloys have better properties than the metal. Okay. So like this, that is why alloying is done. Okay. Right. Now, another term known as amalgam. What is amalgam? Amalgam. Amalgam is it is also an alloy. It is also an alloy, but it's an alloy of what? Any metal. Any metal, but mercury is present. Any metal, when it is mixed with mercury, then it is said to be amalgam. There are different types of amalgam in the nature. Okay, these amalgams may be of liquid amalgam or solid amalgam or else semi-solid amalgams. Okay, etc. Suppose let us take example of liquid amalgam. See in our previous lesson water. So in the water lesson, sorry, in the lesson hydrogen, how hydrogen gas is prepared by using highly reactive metals. Highly reactive metals like sodium or potassium, so they cannot be used to prepare hydrogen. But when they are mixed with mercury, for example, sodium plus mercury, what happened? The reactivity of sodium is decreased, it is lowered, so that now when this mixture is mixed with water, so what happened? So this water will react with the sodium and liberates hydrogen gas, and sodium hydroxide is formed. So like this, hydrogen gas is liberated. So now in this process we use sodium mercury mixture. It is called as sodium amalgam. It is in liquid form. So liquid form of amalgam, example is sodium amalgam, sodium mercury mixture, sodium mercury mixture. So example for solid mixture is zinc amalgam, zinc amalgam. So in zinc amalgam, where this is used in voltaic cells, zinc amalgam, it is used in voltaic cells. What is voltaic cell? Voltaic cells, these are nothing but the cells or else the battery cells. So where the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Chemical energy is converted to is converted into what? Into electrical energy. Electricity or else electrical energy. Electrical energy or else electricity. That means electricity. Now we will see some common alloys. So different alloys are present. So we learn some of the common alloys only, not all alloys. Okay. So brass in Telugu we will call it as ittadi. Okay. So this material brass, it is called as a alloy of copper. It's an it's an alloy of what? Copper. Brass is an alloy of copper because this brass contains copper as the most important substance. It contains more percentage of copper. So that means 60 to 80 percentage of the this alloy, this brass, it contains copper, and zinc is also present. So it is around 40 to 20% of zinc. Okay. So this brass, the composition of brass is this. And if you see the properties of brass, if you see the properties of brass, so it is a lustrous. What is lustrous? Lustrous means having shining surface. Shining surface. Okay. And it is more malleable. Lustrous, more malleable than, more malleable and more ductile. Okay. It is more malleable and more ductile than than copper. So instead of making copper sheets, instead of making copper sheets alone, if you mix a little amount of zinc to that copper, so then those sheets can be made easily. Okay, because when compared to copper alone, so the homogeneous mixture of zinc and copper, so this brass, it is more malleable than copper, and also it is more ductile than copper. So making of wires, so ductility means making of wires. So when compared to making of copper wires, making of brass wires is easy because it is more ductile than copper. Okay, right. So because of these properties, so brass is better than copper. Next, if you see the uses, so it is used to making uses of brass to make utensils. ఇత్తడి పాత్రలు. ఓకే, ఇత్తడి సామాన్లు ఆరెంజ్ ఇత్తడి పాత్రలు. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇత్తడి బిందె. ఓకే, so like this. So and shells of ammunition rounds. Shells of ammunition rounds. So what is ammunition? Ammunition means here it is a example firing, firing with or else shooting, firing or shooting. Generally in military training or else in police training, they will be trained with ammunition rounds. So here for that a special type of bullets are used. So those bullets are made up of what? Brass. Okay. So like this. Next, they are made. This brass is used to make electrical switches. Electrical switches. On and off switches are there. So actually, suppose this is on and off. So it is written on that. So on and off switches. Here it is written as on and it is written as off, like that. Or else here on and here off. Here on and here off. So like this. So back side of this switch, you'll find what? Some some structures which are made up, which are connected to electricity. Okay, which are connected to the board. So actually these are made up of what? These are made up of brass. So this is called an electrical switch, and these electrical switches are made by using brass. Okay, right. So now we'll learn another alloy, bronze. Okay, another alloy, bronze. What is bronze? Bronze is also an alloy of copper. It's also an alloy of copper, but in bronze there is another metal also along with copper and zinc. So it contains tin also. Bronze means calcium. Will in Telugu will call it as in Telugu will call it as calcium, or else simply kanchu, calcium or kanchu. So it is also an alloy of copper. It contains copper, zinc, and tin also. It contains 80% of copper, 10% of zinc, and 10% of tin. See, it is hard and brittle. Hard and brittle. What is brittle? Brittle means which can be broken when large force is applied on it. Okay. It takes very high polish. It takes high polish. Very high polish. Okay. It takes a very high polish. A very high polish. Hence, this bronze is sorry. This is bronze. 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 Oh, bronze. Okay. Bronze means calcium. So it's a mixture of it's a homogeneous mixture of copper, zinc, and tin. So these when the molten copper, molten zinc, and molten tin they are mixed uniformly, we'll get this bronze. So it is a hard and brittle material, and this material can take very high polish. So that is why this bronze that is why this bronze is used in making coins. Okay, use it to make coins. Okay, and also it is used to make some utensils are also made. Okay, some utensils are also made from this bronze material, bronze alloy, and also it is used to make statues. Statues. So statues are made from bronze. Okay. So in the preparation of statues, this bronze is used. Okay. Right. Next alloy. We learn the next alloy. What is the next alloy? Gunmetal. 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 See, gunmetal is also an alloy of copper. It is made up of copper, zinc, tin, and even lead. Lead is also present. Okay, so copper is around 88 percentage. Tin is around 10 percentage. Okay, both zinc and lead they are around 1 percentage each. Okay, see it is also very hard. It is very hard and have good casting. So this gunmetal it is hard. It is very hard and gives good casting. Okay, gives a good cast. What is the meaning of cast? Cast means molding. So that means it can be made into different shapes. It can be casted into different shapes. Okay, or else it can be made into different shapes. Okay, so where this is used in making barrels of guns, bearings, gears. For example, this is gun. Okay, so this is what? This is gun. So this is barrel. So there are two barrels. So this portion is called as barrel. So if you see the use of gunmetal, so in making or else make a to make barrels of guns. Okay, to make gears, to make bearings, etc. Okay, so like this, gunmetal can be used in different purposes. Okay, so here the composition is important. So alloys, we have to remember the composition of different alloys. So gunmetal, brass, bronze, gunmetal, and even German silver, bell metal. So these are all alloys of copper. Okay, there are so many alloys of copper. So gunmetal is also another alloy of copper. Okay. Now we will learn uh, the next alloy of copper is German silver. German silver. German silver also contain copper, zinc, and nickel. Copper, zinc, and nickel. Nickel. Copper, zinc, and nickel. So copper is present in little, in less percentage. Not this much percentage of copper. So around 30 to 60% of copper is present. 30 to 60 percentage of copper is present, and zinc is around 25 to 35 percentage, and nickel is around 15 to 35 percentage. So this German silver is made up of these three metals, and copper is the important, or else it is called as a principal metal. Principal metal means main metal. Okay, the main metal used in German silver is copper. Okay, so actually it is a white. It is white like silver. Like silver, it is not pure silver, so it is white. It is white. Okay, as it is also white. Okay, next next it is malleable and ductile. It is malleable and ductile. If you see the uses, if you see the uses of this German silver, it is used in making imitation silver jewelry. Okay, it is made to used in imitation silver jewelry. It looks like silver jewelry, but it is not silver jewelry. Hence, it is said to be imitation. Imitation means look like. Okay, imitation silver jewelry. Imitation silver jewelry. Okay, imitation silver jewelry. And also, it is used in decoration pieces. It is used in decoration pieces. See, certain materials are used for decoration purpose. So those materials are they are made up of German silver. That means some materials made up of German silver. They are used in decoration, and also they are used to make certain utensils, okay, etc. So like this, German silver is another alloy. It's fourth alloy of copper. Okay. So now let us learn another alloy of copper. Another alloy of copper. What is the next alloy of copper? Bell metal. Bell metal. Bell metal. It is also an alloy. So it is also an alloy of copper. It is a principal metal. Copper is the principal metal. So the next alloy is bell metal. It is in bell metal. This is also alloy of copper because the principal metal in this case also it is copper. Okay. So if you see the composition of this bell metal, so it contains copper. 80% of this metal is material is made up of copper and tin. So tin is made up of only it is made up of only 20% of tin and 80% of copper, the mixture. Okay, it is hard and brittle. It is hard and brittle. Okay, it produces a sonorous sound. Produces sonorous sound. Sonorous, sonorous sound. What is sonorous sound? So that means tongue, tongue, tongue. It is also called as ringing sound. Ringing sound. Okay. See, if this material is beaten, for example, if you take gongs, so in certain places you'll find big metal gongs, gong, gong, Gong. This gong is hanged to. This is hanged, and if it is beaten, if you beat this gong, okay, if you beat this gong, what happens? It will produce large sounds, very large sounds, so that sometimes even blood may come from the ears if you are very nearer to this. Okay, so even in temples you will find these gongs, or else, I mean this gong. So this gong is made up of what? Bell metal. Okay, because this bell metal it can produce sonorous sound or else a ringing sound. So this bell metal is used in the in making gongs. Okay, right. Now we will learn the next alloy of copper. What is that? Solder. So it is sorry. A solder is a alloy of it is an alloy of tin. So this is not alloy of. So now we learn alloy of tin. Tin. So what is the next alloy? Tin. Alloy of tin. So it is called as solder. Okay. In solder, the principal metal is a tin. It contains tin. 52 to 60% of solder is made up of tin, and lead is also present. So the lead it is around 50 to 40%. 50 to 40%. The main metal or the principal metal is tin only. Hence, solder is called as alloy of tin. It's an alloy of tin. So it has low melting point. Low melting point, and it does not react. Do not react with air Okay, do not react with air and water. Air and water. Okay, do not react. That means it is not acted upon by air or water. So that means it do not react with air and water. So if you see the uses, this is used for soldering purpose. For soldering purpose. What is soldering? Soldering is nothing but a process of joining metal pieces. Suppose if there are two metal pieces, so these two particularly electrical wires, okay. So here are also electrical equipments, for example, diodes or triodes, which are used in electronics. So they are attached to the circuits, electronic circuits, electrical circuits, okay, with the help of by soldering material. Okay, so that means, so metal pieces or else electrical circuits or else any electrical electronic I mean that uh, parts like diodes, triodes, they are attached to the circuits by by soldering only. Okay, that means to join the pieces, metal pieces or else wires. Next, so like this alloy, solder, it is an alloy of what? It is an alloy of tin. So now we learn about the next alloy known as a type metal. Type metal. So it is used for type metal is used for typing purpose. Particularly in printing type, this is used type metal. Okay, type metal. So it is an alloy. It's an alloy of lead. It's an alloy of lead. Okay, lead. Lead means PV. Plumb. Or what is the principal metal? Lead is the principal metal in type metal. Okay, type metal is a type of alloy. It's a type of alloy. Okay, it's an alloy of lead. So it contains lead, okay, tin, and even little amount of antimony. I mean antimony is present around 20%. Tin is only 10%. Lead, it is made up. It is present in 70%. Okay, 70% of type metal contains. I mean, type metal it is made up of 70% lead, 10% tin, and 20% antimony. So it is hard. This type metal is hard, and the thing is, it expands on cooling. Generally, any material will contract, will become little on cooling. But this type metal will expand on cooling. Generally, material will contract on cooling, but this type metal, it expands on cooling. Okay, it expands on cooling, and even it is also having low melting point. It's also having what? Low melting point. So this type metal, it is mainly used for making printing type. It is mainly used for printing type. Okay, so like this type metal can be learned. So these are all different common alloys which are used in day-to-day life. So we will learn the other things in the next video.